Mr. Speaker, will you please call the House to order?
The bill is passed.
We'd like to get a budget that represents the interests of the people who are standing here with me now.
To be part of the struggle to achieve a better society for all.
Who here in this chamber feels that their children should be punished for something that they did? Hi, and welcome to Assembly Update. I'm Assemblyman Phil Ramos, and I represent the towns of Brentwood, Bayshore, and Central Islip. Coming off the heels of a very festive weekend that we had in Brentwood, we had the Arts Festival, which celebrated the arts and music of various ethnic groups. We had salsa bands, we had local artists. There were workshops for young people to learn how to paint. There were young dance groups of young people who came and performed. Approximately 8,000 people showed up there, and it was celebrating the diverse culture and the arts that go with those respective cultures. Coming off of the heels of such a weekend, we have another group of gentlemen who have involved themselves in another area of the arts, and that is to produce a film that could possibly go on to be a full-length feature. And I'm very honored to have my guest today. We have Danielle Lencina, who is the producer of the film, and we have Julio Frometa. And they are producing a film called Searching the Skies, which deals a little bit with the issues of immigrants in this country. I want to welcome you both. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting us at your program.
This is a great opportunity. You know, it shows you how in the area of the arts, our community is maturing, where we could reach a level where we're producing movies out of our community in Long Island, dealing with some of the issues that are very important to people. So the title of the film is Searching
New Skies.
New Skies.
Correct.
And what is the premise behind this film?
Okay, the idea of the film is show three different stories of immigration, you know, linking with the common denominator, and show the people what is the world behind the immigration drama. So it's a very nice story that have involved in the middle, like a love story. So I think the ideas for show something that we have, you know, and know very well, because it's our reality every single day. So I think that is the most important, or the key word for the movie.
You are from Argentina?
Yes, I was born in Argentina.
And Julio, what country are you from?
I'm from Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. So certainly two people who know the immigrant experience and know some
Obviously,
of the issues. You know, the issues that I deal with here in regards to immigration are that the public hears immigration just on the basis of, hears about immigration just on the basis of what they see on TV, the pundits, and the surface of the issue. But your film seeks to humanize it.
Exactly.
To really talk about, as a human being, from the perspective of a person, what the immigration issue really means.
Exactly.
And there's different angles of it, depending on the struggle to get here, how it takes place, and the things that happen in a person's life who's just seeking a better life, seeking the American dream.
Yeah.
And what are the examples of the three perspectives in this movie?
Okay. I can say that the first part of the movie is as an African immigrator, you know, leaving his country. The second one is the Middle East immigration. That is the biggest one part of the movie, and that is involved a love story with the American girl, and the third story is Hispanic immigration.
Hispanic,
yeah, correct.
And Julio, what is the underlying theme? In other words, you're putting out three stories of three personal experiences of immigrants from different perspectives. But what is the underlying theme that frames the three stories?
Is what, like you said before, Phil, is humanize the immigration theme in here. I mean, let's face it, the American people, they don't know how it is to be an immigrant. They were born here.
Many don't.
Yeah, exactly. Many of them. But we came from different countries. Daniel and myself and we know both aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, since we coming here, we become immigrants, and before, like myself, my mom left me in DR, in Dominican Republic.
Right.
So I got both phases of it.
Right. The experience of separation
Exactly.
is something that story needs to be told.
Exactly.
Because the immigrant community understands that what that means to have a person at a distance, and to have the only fire burning in you that keeps you going is that love and knowing that what the sacrifice that you did is so that somebody can have a better life back in your country who wasn't able to join you. And there's so many stories of separation for years, but we have a different perspective of that because it's a matter of survival. And many say that really the immigrant community are people who have lived and struggled for the American dream in a way that many don't, because they actually fought and struggled and overcame obstacles for that American dream. But the three stories, what binds it together? Is this a story being told by somebody? Is this from the perspective of an experience of one person that connects the three stories? How does that?
No, it's three different persons,
right?
Three different stories, like Daniel said,
right?
But one common denominator is the struggles of the immigrants. That's really the undertheme that we're trying to show. The struggles and how we can get to the American dream. That sometimes it's not that easy. Everybody thinks that it's easy to come to a country that we don't even know the language.
Right.
We have to learn the language, learn the system, and then try to get the American dream. It's not like we're gonna get it from the get-go.
Right.
It's really hard.
It's a struggle, and people have to keep in perspective the contribution that immigrants make when they come here. Many come, as in my family, the first generation of my family that came here worked at menial jobs, provided vital services to our, to the community, to society here. On Long Island, we see a shrinking tax base. A lot of people moving out of Long Island, but the immigrant community is the one that's growing.
Yeah.
And what it's doing is revitalizing the tax base, because that is where we're getting a positive population growth as opposed to a negative one. And the other thing that many don't think about aspect of it is that immigrants are consumers.
Obviously, yeah.
Of course.
So immigrants are spending money and stimulating the economy as well, and they're also paying sales tax on this, and that revenues that come to the government. But again, these are all social, political, topical issues. But when we look at these issues from the perspective of a person, it's very different.
Obviously.
We're connecting at an emotional level about what it means to be a son, a brother, a sister, what it means to be able to say, I'm leaving my family, and I might not see them for 10 years, might not see them ever.
Exactly.
No, plus.
But my love is that strong that I will do whatever I have to do because I need to make sure that they're fine. And it causes us to reflect here in this country what would we do? What would be the limit of what we would do for our family? And I think most of us would do an ultimate sacrifice of these things for the sake of humanity, and to know that our family, we love them that much that we would do these things to make sure that our family is taken care of, and that's a story that's not told when we see the immigration issue being debated on TV.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I mean, family is the first thing for everybody, I think, especially for us, because that's what we do everything for. That's why we come here to this country. We leave everybody behind. Everybody, sons, daughter, family. I mean, everybody, friends, everything. You leave your culture. You bring it with you, but sometimes you can't even express it here if you don't find the right platform to it.
Right.
So that's another issue in here. We as immigrants, as Latin American, especially, we have to invest in culture, in our culture, to grow.
Right.
That's what we need to do.
Because to be American does not mean that we all need to be the same.
Yeah.
To be American means that we bring the best of our respective countries here. That's what makes this country great. It's diversity, the fact that we have the best of everywhere. Every country has its strengths and its weaknesses, and they're very different. But the immigrant brings the strengths of each country that they come from, They impart it into society here, and that's why we can go to a city like New York City and see the best of every culture.
Yeah.
And you know, read literature, and we can go to festivals, we can eat foods from the best from the entire world, because every group has made their contribution. But the one thing that everyone has in common is that all those immigrants shared that American dream, that same American dream that the first pioneers that came from Europe here had. They came here for a better life.
Exactly.
And you know, the pioneers came here and learned democracy from the indigenous people. Democracy didn't exist in Europe. They learned it here from the Iroquois Nation, from the way, and they learned a new concept of freedom and representative government, a way that people can take part. And that is the same history being repeated today with the immigrant community that comes, you know. But again, being able to bring out these perspectives through your art, through producing films, is something very important, and is not just a venture of entertainment. It has a social impact, what you're doing.
Obviously, we're looking for show something different, show something very important, because there are another thing that so many people don't tell about the immigration, and this is when you are an immigrant, you are an eternal immigrant, because always my essence will be different. And when I come back at my country, people change, the city change. So I am an immigrant in my self-country, in my own country. So that's the karma of the immigrant. And people don't know that, except the immigrants.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And having, you know, I hear many people say that, sometimes I feel like I don't belong.
Exactly.
I'm here and I'm an immigrant. And then when I go back home, they say, you're American now.
Exactly. And you are not, you are not native from here. Yeah.
So it's, there's a lot of contradictions and a lot of struggles that you go to. But in the end, what happens is, the first generation focuses on survival. And then when we see subsequent generations in immigrant families, then we start to see them getting involved in civic issues. We see them getting involved in politics. We see them getting involved in government, in community, in larger issues, but all because of those first pioneers that struggled to come here to open up the door for their families.
Yeah.
But again, using the art to tell this story has an impact on society. And it's probably even more important that the non-immigrant community view a film like yours than the immigrant community. The immigrant community understands the issues of what it means. They understand that. But the non-immigrant community, because we're subject to hearing things from the pundits on Fox 5 and different TV channels, telling us what our opinions should be, the issues become dehumanized.
Yes.
Yeah, we're looking for the movie, try to, show the movie in the most important festival around the world, and obviously we're looking for the award in one of those festivals.
Yeah.
But
so
especially
it's actually a competition, right?
Obviously,
so
yeah.
if you win an award, you have an opportunity to make this into possibly to make this into a full-length film.
We win award, or we won on a festival. We have the opportunity to compete it in the
Oscars.
In the Oscars
Yes.
award, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that really opens up the door.
Obviously,
Well,
yeah.
God willing, we will see that day come. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you,
Daniel,
thank
Julio.
you so
Thank
much.
you so much.